Yo, what's good, my lifters, my liftuts, my Zumas, my boomers. So fucking cringe. Guys, how's it going? Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Guys, today we got a special little discussion here, having a little discourse here. Those of you who are interested in this subject that I'm about to speak about, go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, do all that good stuff. Let's talk about this. We're gonna be talking today about a lifting style that's completely just absolutely took in my heart and just ripped it out and ran with it. You know what I mean? Because I've literally fallen in love with this. And this is weightlifting, better known by other people as Olympic weightlifting. It's really just weightlifting, but I'll call it Olympic weightlifting, Ollie lifting to kind of like differentiate it. It's kind of weird, man. Olympic weightlifting is called weightlifting and powerlifting is called powerlifting, but in reality, Olympic weightlifting is about power and powerlifting is about pure strength. There's not really power in powerlifting. Like, power is strength and velocity, I'm pretty sure. I don't have a degree. Anyway, we're going to be talking about all the benefits that Olympic weightlifting can really have for all athletes. My specific sport is Muay Thai, or K1 kickboxing. So that's the way I'm speaking about it from. This kind of lifting benefits all kinds of athletes, especially athletes that, football players, basketball, wrestling, especially wrestling, all that stuff. So the first disclaimer I'm going to say though before all this is you guys need to make sure that you take the time to actually learn the technique of these movements to some degree, right? Of course, you're not going to have a perfect technique like a weightlifter. Even those guys don't have perfect technique. You're not going to have beautiful technique. It'll be pretty, you can get it pretty good, but it's not going to be like insane. So don't sweat it. Just get it good. Make sure you're safe. Number one, that should be the main thing. And then after that, you know, just take some time to refine things, but learn the technique first. It'll help you a lot. But you don't have to make it perfect because, again, you're doing this for your sport. You don't want to waste too much time like perfecting your technique. You should get it as good as possible. If you intend on competing in weightlifting or Olympic weightlifting, yes, you need to really focus on technique. That should be one of your like top 3 priorities. But as an athlete, you still should, but not as much as a weightlifter, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be listing benefits from least important to the most important. And we're going to be discussing why these things are and, you know, applications of them. Okay, so the first thing that I think Olympic weightlifting benefits you with is aggression. Okay? Aggression. Everyone thinks aggression is bad. No, aggression is good. Aggression is the act of, I almost describe aggression as this. It's anger, but without the emotions of anger, right? So if I'm really aggressive, but in my mind, I'm not angry, I'm just being aggressive, then this is actually a great weapon you can use to your advantage because you now have the ability to use this aggression in your whatever sport you may need, but you're not emotional at the same time. You know what I mean? It's the physical act of, being upset or angry, I guess, but at the same time, it's really not because it's way more calculated and more controlled. And what I mean by this is, you guys know, you know, obviously most strength sports involve aggression. Like, look at powerlifting, man. People are slapping each other in the face. They're freaking screaming. They're passing out after lift. Insane shit, right? But Olympic weightlifting is a little bit different because the sport is it's dynamic. Powerlifting, I love powerlifting. I'm not shitting on powerlifting, but let's be completely honest. It's static. There is it's down, up, pull. You know what I mean? It's static strength. But Olympic weightlifting or weightlifting, it's dynamic, right? You start with that static pull, and then you triple extend, right? You hip thrust the bar, and now it's dynamic. You relax, go as fast as you can underneath, catch, and then now you have to stabilize the weight, catch that weight that's just fucking dropped on you, and then it's another static push, and then it's dynamic, jerk, boom, lockout, stabilize, up. Did you guys enjoy that? You like that choreograph. Come on. You guys like that shit. But what I'm saying is it's dynamic, right? The snatch, static pull, extend, you got to get under, right? There's more movement in these, kind of like sports. Sports are never just static strength. They rarely are just static, right? It's a lot of boom, relax, now we're moving, we're wrestling, right? I'm grabbing you, maybe I'm holding you a little bit and then I'm yanking you this way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to explain this the best of my ability, but it's kind of just making me look like a clown. So, and if you guys don't believe me with this whole aggression thing, I mean, dude, just freaking look at these Bulgarian dudes from the 80s or the 70s. I don't remember what years they were from. But, dude, these guys are screaming and training. They're just so freaking aggressive. Look at the Chinese, like Lu Xiaozheng's literally like growling. He's like a demon every time he freaking does a lift. You know what I mean? So this sport takes aggression. The next thing You guys hear me talk about this shit all the time. Like, I swear in every video I have to say something about this. Mobility, dude, mobility. Why do I like mobility so much? Because one time, it was 2020, I hadn't been doing my martial arts. I'd just been lifting. And I didn't know much about lifting back then, right? I knew like decently, but you know, I couldn't even touch my toes, dude. Like when I was sitting down, I couldn't even touch my toes. I'm like, this is kind of fucked up. Like that's flexibility, obviously, but it got me diving deep into mobility. And with this sport, weightlifting, or if you want to apply weightlifting to your training, you need mobility, dude. They have those shoes, right, that help you. I haven't bought any yet, so I've been freaking flat-footed, and it kind of sucks because it's getting really hard. But you have to have a good ATG squat, right? You have to be able to get down to your ass to grass, man, and squat up. That takes some mobility. The one that I find to be the most difficult and the most demanding is that shoulder mobility. And that snatch, man, like right there, man, it's crazy the mobility required for that. And you can see like guys in training, the Chinese especially, like that's just, I'm going to use them a lot because they're great examples and they post a lot of their training that I've seen, at least. They're very popular, I guess, to watch the training, probably because of the YouTube channels and stuff. But you see them doing shit like shoulder mobility all the time. You see them doing those behind the neck pull downs. These guys are they're mobile, you know what I mean? They can move. And in any sport, man, better mobility equals better movement. So it's a no-brainer. Like, train your mobility. I've said this a million freaking times. Be able to squat deep, have good external and internal rotation of your shoulders, have good external and internal rotation of the hip, have good thoracic extension, have good ankle mobility, dorsiflexion. You need good dorsiflexion. All of these things are required in weightlifting. And that's why it's beautiful. And it will transfer over to your sport. Trust me. Okay? Just trust me, bro. Source, trust me, bro. All right. The third benefit, okay? It's actually going to be a shorter video. I kind of like that, though. I don't like sitting here talking for 20 minutes because then I feel like I'm just talking about nothing. You know what I mean? And you guys probably have the attention span of a goldfish because of TikTok. Dude, yeah, that shit's like so overstimulating. But yeah, that's what's literally frying the minds of young people. Literally ADHD. Anyway, speaking of ADHD, I just freaking went on a side tangent there. We're going to be talking about conditioning. Now, some of you guys might be like, what do you mean, bro? You're in weightlifting, they do 1 rep maxes. Like, are you stupid? Did you like get dropped? Have you been hitting the head hard recently? No, I haven't. But I will say this, man. With the sport of weightlifting, these guys still get conditioned in the beginning part of their training before they peak, right? So they have a competition coming up. Usually the first couple weeks tend to be very focused on building this thing called GPP, which is just general physical preparedness. You can just call it fitness or stamina, endurance. These guys, they have to get fit because the truth is, man, CrossFit would not take Olympic weightlifting if it didn't require some kind of like physical output in terms of aerobic and anaerobic systems in the body, right? So yes, there is that time in weightlifting, and I think in I don't really follow CrossFit at all, I'm sorry, but I know in weightlifting, obviously, they go for those 1 rep maxes, which is very anaerobic, right? But they have to train these things called complexes, and I've been doing complexes, dude. I posted one on the channel as a short the other day. That was literally so exhausting, and it wasn't even that hard compared to some of the other things I hear these guys doing. It was literally just this. So a complex, guys, it's taking movements of weightlifting and just regular lifting, I guess you can call it, and it's putting them together. And normally the conditioning I like a lot of running. If you guys don't know, I started off as a runner, but man, dude, you get so much endurance from Olympic weightlifting and your heart is pounding. It's great. It's great stuff. Of course, you don't use like as heavy weights unless you're you're a demon or something. But you know, I was working with like 135, but it still absolutely got me my heart pumping, and it makes you have to work on your technique. So you get the benefit of working on your technique and then being tired while also still focusing on your technique. So when you think about it, if you're tired and you can have good technique, you can also do that when you're fresh, right? So that's kind of the philosophy I have. But that's another great benefit of Olympic weightlifting. The final benefit of Olympic weightlifting, the most important one, guys, it's so obvious. You build strength and you build power. These two things are absolutely needed in weightlifting, because in order to get good at weightlifting, right, you see guys, they pull from the ground first, right? And then they catch it in a squat of some sort, overhead or front squat, right? So you need a good deadlift, you need a good front squat, you need a good back squat, you need a good pull-up, because when you think about a pull-up, if you're doing it right, you're kind of like pulling back your shoulder blades, right? That's what we want in the front squat. We want to be upright. So you need a good pull-up, you need a strong back, you need a strong squat, you need a strong press, because you're throwing weights over your head. You do need to be able to press some decent amount of weight. You're building power and strength in all of these different planes of motion. And this is what Olympic weightlifting gives you, man. So, and if you think about this, all of those foundational movements that work you up to those cleans and those snatches and those jerks or whatever, push press. It's the golden sports motion when you think about it. That triple extension that you do in the clean and the snatch, that's the golden sports motion. Think about it when you jump, you triple extend. Your knees are extended, your hips and your ankles are extended. In basketball, you're jumping all the time. Of course, it's off one foot, so it's not super specific, but still, getting good at a clean and a snatch, and then also training your sport, doing drills for your sport, it's going to transfer, dude. It's going to transfer. I know some people say, oh, I don't do that because it's not specific to my sport. Yes, but we want to be generally strong and powerful. That's at least my training philosophy. It's benefited me. It's, again, this is all anecdotal, so you have to take it with whatever, get your own experience. This is just my advice. You can follow it if you like. But through this, man, I will say ever since I started Olympic weightlifting, I don't know if it's placebo, dude, my punches and my kicks, mainly my punches, have been so freaking strong, dude. Like, my buddy was holding pads, we were training. I don't really film Muay Thai sessions because it's like a class setting. It's a bit different than filming your workouts in the gym. So that's why you guys don't see a lot of like Muay Thai specific videos. Although I'd like to get some of those sometime, but side tangent again. I was hitting the pads, man, and just explosive power, man. It's crazy. So if you guys don't believe me, just try it yourself and then come back to me and tell me what you think. And if you think about it, in basketball, you're triple extending, and wrestling, again, it's not the exact same as like a clean, but when you think about like a suplex, that is pretty much triple extension, or throwing someone over you, or a takedown. You're crouching and then you're going up and extending everything and then driving to the side, right? So again, I'm doing all these weird motions, I'm sorry. And then sprinting, again, it's unilateral still, so I still think you should get some unilateral training in your program, but coupled with Olympic lifts, you're working that triple extension, dude. It's literally getting you so explosive and so powerful in triple extension that it's almost a no-brainer. That's why every college athlete, every high school athlete, the coaches have them doing some sort of variation of this, whether it's a hang clean or a power clean, mainly just those two. I recently have just gotten into everything because I enjoy weightlifting too, so it's like kind of like just for my own fun. So guys, to conclude, Olympic weightlifting is great for all athletes. It helps you get controlled aggression, helps you build mobility, helps you build conditioning, helps you build strength and power, right? So those are pretty much applications that every single athlete wants, right? Learn the form as much as you can. Again, you don't have to have super perfect form. Some of the weightlifters that might watch this video might want to kill me after I say that, but you don't have to have like super perfect form, right? It's just got to be good. It's just got to be good, mainly safe. That's number one, safe. Just be safe, guys. Try this in your training. I don't need my notes anymore. Rip. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Good talk.